Welcome back, everybody, to another lesson. It's nice to have you all here. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're all in great health. And I hope you're ready to get started because I want to warm you up with a quick activity. This picture here is taken from one of my favorite books growing up called Where's Waldo? And the whole purpose of this is you need to find Waldo amongst this crowd of people. Waldo is a man. He wears a red and white sweater. He wears glasses and a hat. So if you look careful, I'll give you a moment, see if you can find him in this crowd here. And this kind of looks like him, but not quite because there's no hat. He's got the glasses and the shirt. This guy's got everything except the glasses. That's not Waldo. If you look carefully, he's actually right here. But the purpose of this lesson isn't to learn how about Waldo. The whole purpose of this lesson is to learn how to estimate things using what we call a referent. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to tell me approximately how many people there are in this crowd. Or I'll show you other pictures that are crowded with things and you'll be able to estimate approximately, which means about how many there are in the picture. So let's kind of go over here what a referent is. A referent comes from a word meaning comes from a word that sounds similar called reference. And what a reference is something that you use to compare other things with. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say we draw a heart here. Let's pop a heart on the screen. Everybody loves hearts. I want to show you some hearts. So let's start with one heart. Actually, let's make a group of hearts. Let's go 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
So I've got a group of 25 hearts here. And let's capture these as one group. Now this group here, and you can see it in the box, is going to act as our referent when I do this, like that. Let's make this one and that, and let's put another one down here, and let's go another 2 more. We'll make 8 groups of them. Now remember, how many are there in each group? I've got 25 in here, I've got 25 there, I've got 25 in all of them. If I write above this how many there are, 25, there's another 25 here. Now remember, skip counting by 20. If you forgot how to skip count by 25, go back to that lesson and watch it again. But I'm going to do this really quick here and you can count along with me, but we're going to see how many there are all together. Ready? Let's go. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. So I have approximately, well, actually I've got exactly 200 hearts. Now this is a strategy that is going to actually help us when it comes time to estimating other pictures. Like for example, the Where's Waldo, like this. I want to take this group and I want to merge it close to that first group. And I want to take this group and I want to merge it all together.
I'm going to merge this one in here. I'm going to merge that there. And this is over here. And that's there. And there
we go. Now look. If I was to capture this group, nothing has really changed in this picture. I still have 200 hearts. Fill in these gaps with more hearts. Now, listen carefully. Are there more hearts now? Yes, there are more hearts. Is there still about approximately 200 hearts? Is this still approximately 200? Now, I hope you're saying yes because, look, I popped in, I don't count, but I think there was put an extra maybe 5 hearts, maybe 4 or 6, I don't remember. There's still about approximately 200 of them. But what if I circled this here, this group here, to indicate there's about, and this squiggly line means about, there might not be exactly 25, there might be 26 or 27, but there's about 25. And I'm picking 25 because I like counting by 25s, and that's easy for me to do, and it should be easy for you to do. The purpose of using a referent is to make identical circles that resemble this in size and shape. So look, if I did this now, it's not a lot. That's not the same size. And because it's not the same size, I don't even have close to 25. I mean, count them. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've only got 10 in here. It's a small circle. But if I make a circle approximately the same size, these two look approximately the same. And if you counted all these, I've got approximately 25 in here too. And if I keep going the rest of the picture, it doesn't have to be exactly right. It just has to be close enough. And I continue doing this, I'm going to get myself a pretty good estimate of how many hearts there are in the picture because all of them have 25 approximately. Remember, some may have more, some may have less. And if I count by 25s 8 times, because there's 8 circles, I'm going to get about 200 hearts. Let's do an example now. Let's go back to Where's Waldo. Let's use the same skill. Now the question says, use a referent of 25, 10, and 1 to estimate how many people are in the picture below. Which referent was the most efficient to use? And efficient means easiest. Now, if I look at this picture, I want to use the same skills I used to estimate how many hearts there are. I want to imagine that these people were split up into groups of 25 maybe. We could use, it tells us to use 25. So I'm going to go ahead and count 25. You can count along with me here. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay.
So that's about 25 right here. Remember, it doesn't have to be, I might have more than 25. Hey, look, Waldo's in the group. The point being, I need approximately 25, and I've got that with this. Now, I'm not going to bother counting any more people. I'm just going to make sure I fill up this picture with circles that are the same size as our referent. If I do this, circles approximately the same size as this circle, so I should have approximately 25 people in this. Now, I'm not going to write 25 in all of them. I'm just going to keep going like this. And there you have it. Now let's count and see how many people are in the picture. I'm going to count by 25 and you can count along with me. Let's do this. 25, 50. Now, let's put check marks on all of them. Let's start again. Okay, sorry for messing you up. Let's do this. 25, 50, 75, 100.
125, 150, 175, 200, 225, 250, 275, 300, 325, 350, 375,
400. We have about 400 people in this picture. Next part of this question says use a referent of 10. Now to use a referent of 10, I'm going to have to count 10 people. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can put a circle around these 10. You can see how small the circle is. And you can see 10 is going to take much longer to complete. It's not the best referent, but if you did do it, it would still give you a pretty good estimate of how many people there are. It just takes too long. And using a referent of 1, that's just going to be ridiculous. That's just going to mean circle one person there. That's how big the circle is. Put a 1 in it. It's my referent. That's going to take a really long time to finish this, and it's not even worth doing. May as well just count all the people. So which referent was the most efficient? That one was the most efficient. Question 2. Use the referent of your choice. Estimate how many fence posts are in the illustration below. Now, it's your choice. You can Now, look, before you decide what referent you're going to use, make sure you choose a referent that you're comfortable skip counting by. For instance, we've all learned how to skip count by 5, 10. We've learned, we haven't learned 20, but some of you might be good at counting by 20s. We've learned 25s. Now look, we've also learned 100, and this one's most often than not you're not going to use too often unless we are using money, for instance. But with pictures, these are the ones we're going to focus on. This one here is going to be for pictures that are extremely crowded and have a lot of things in them. We could choose 5 or 10 for a picture like this. It's not that complicated. Look. If we go through here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can put a circle around these 10. Now all I have to do, I know that there's 10 in here. I'm going to make circles that are the same size approximately. That looks about right. Make another one over here. I'll make another one there. And make sure that your circles look very close to each other, and they do. And we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So we have about 60 fence posts, and if you had some time you can double count them. I think the answer was pretty close to 60 when I last counted them. I don't remember right now, and I'm not going to even count them. This one here, it's a picture taken from the ground, and you can see all these birds. It looks like they're all migrating to the, well, it looks like summer, so it might be they're all flying down south or back up north, whichever way birds go. The point being, we want to estimate how many there are in this picture. Now, remember we said we're comfortable counting by 5, 10, 20, some of us, 25, 100. Okay? This is a rather populated picture. There's a lot of birds in here, so we're not going to choose this one. It'll take too long to make little circles of 5. We're not going to choose 10. We could go maybe 20, 25, or 100. And if you wanted to make a circle with 100 in it, by all means, if you had the time, you can count 100 birds and make a circle. I don't have that kind of time. I'm going to choose 25. And I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Okay, let's make a circle that big. That's going to be 25 birds roughly. Now what do? We call this our referent. That's R. There's 25 in here. I'm not going to count anymore. I'm just going to make circles the same size. All right, we did it. Now let's count these. We know that there's 25 in each one. Let's keep counting until we get to the end. You can start along and count with me. I'll put check marks so we can keep track of the of each circle. So we're going to start counting by 25 here. We're going to go 25. Count with me. 50. Count with me. 75. 100.
125, 150, 175, 200, 225, 250, 275, 300, 325, 350, 375, 400, 425, 450, 425, 525, 575. What's next? 600, 625, 650, 675, 700, 725, 750, 775, 800, 825, 850, 875, 900, 925.
950. We've got about 950 birds. We've got some missing ones on the side here that we couldn't get into the circle. We've got about 1,000 birds. 950, 1,000. Look, if it was multiple choice and they said what's the best estimate, you would choose 1,000 because this one is way too low. If we got 950, this number is way below that, and so is this one, and so is that one. 1,000 would be the best guess. And again, here, use the referent of your choice to estimate how many happy faces there are in the illustration below. So what do we have here? We can count by 5, 10. We're comfortable with 20, 25, 100. Now for this one, I could make, I'm free to make any referent I want. I'm going to use a referent of 10 for this one. Not because 10 is the best way to use, but just because I want to show you other options. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's a circle about that big. And that's got about 10 in it. Now, let's make reference. This is our referent, R. I'm going to make circles approximately the same size. Okay, we got them all down. Now let's count by, we count them by here, we count them by tens, because they all have about 10 inside of them. So follow along with me, count along. Let's do this. 10, 20, 30, 40,
50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160,
170 happy faces. Approximately 170 happy faces, and if it was multiple choice and they asked you choose the best answer, well, which one of these would be the best answer? Would it be 500? Well, of course not. 170 is, 500 is way more than 170. This is wrong for you. We don't choose this. 300, 100, 200. Look, 170 is almost at 200. This would be the best answer. Another type of question is when you have some sort of object or illustration and they're all organized. If you looked at the last example, all the examples before, it's a mess. Things are everywhere. Okay, there is no organized pattern. Here we have rows and columns. We have organized rows and columns, and they're all fit for. Now look, when you have this sort of diagram, we're not going to make circle reference. We're going to make a row referent or a column. Okay, so columns are up and down, rows are side to side. Here's what you do. Count how many there are in the first column. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 6 going up and down. If you go across this way, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now what you do is you pick the number that's closest to the referent. Okay, so we have either this here, or we can use this as a referent. Choose the one that choose the one that is closest to the number you're comfortable counting by. So 6 is close to 5. 11 is close to 10. Now 6 is only 1 away from 5 and 10 is 1 away from 11. So in this example, both would be good choices. You have to make a decision. For this case here, I'm going to go and choose the row. And I'm going to call this, now I know there's 11 here, but 11 is about 10. I don't know how to count by 11. Well, I know how to count by 11s, but the point is you need to change the number a little bit, round it down to a number that you're comfortable counting by. Most of us here don't know how to count by 11s very well. So we're going to choose 10. We're going to go 10 here. We're going to have 10 here. We're going to have 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, and 10 there. If we were to estimate, we would have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we have approximately 60 stars. Now, if you would have used, and I'm going to change colors here, if we would have used this column instead, we would have said that instead of 6, because we don't like counting by sixes, we're going to change the 6 to about 5. And then this one here has about 5. And this one here has about 5. Now, if you know how to count by fives, which you should all know, we're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Look, we got two different estimates, but again, if this was multiple choice, the best answer here would be 50 because it would be closest to this and closest to that. Oh, now we're going to shift from objects such as people and stars and happy faces. Now we're going to shift over to money. And we have an example. Bob has 730 pennies. That's a lot of pennies. Use the referent. 100 pennies is equal to $1 to estimate how many dollars. Okay, there's a lot of words in here. We got to estimate. We don't want an exact answer. We just want an estimate of how many dollars Bob has. So we know 100 pennies is equal to $1. 100 pennies is $1. He has 730 pennies. So I've got a picture over here I want to bring up. And this here is going to serve as our referent. This is our referent. This is our group. But look, Bob has 730 pennies. This is only 100 pennies here. This is 100 pennies. 100 pennies. And this is $1. They're the same thing. I need to make more because I need to go up to 730 or as close as possible. Okay, so now if you look at the picture, I've got 200 pennies and $2. But Bob has 730, so I'm going to keep going. Let's keep doubling this up. So I'll put this one here. Now they have 300. Now look, I don't want to go over 700 because 700, I've got 700 pennies here. If you counted them all, there's 700. That's pretty close to 730. I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to say that Bob has approximately how many dollars? Bob has $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. He has approximately $7, and we're going to write that in. We're going to write about $7. In this example, Bob has 87 pennies. Using the referent, 5 pennies is equal to 1 nickel. Estimate how many nickels Bob has. So let's see, how much money does Bob have altogether? Well, he has 87 pennies. And what's our referent? Our referent is right here. It's 5 pennies is equal to 1 nickel. And this is going to act as our reference. So now I've expanded my referent. I've got 10 pennies.
Now I got 15, 20. Oh, we got to make more here. Let's do this. So what do I got? I got 5 here, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 35 pennies, 40 pennies, 45, 50, 55, 75, 80, I need one more, let's do this. 85, okay, let's push it in here.
I've got, look, 85 is close to 87. If I put one more, I'm going to go over. I'm going to get to 90. It's going to be way too many. 85 is a good place to stop. How many nickels does Bob have? Well, let's count them. We have 1 nickel here, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 nickels.
Alright, boys and girls, now it's your turn. Look at this picture here. Pause the video. Use a reference. Now look, you're going to have to use your finger for this. Don't write on your screen. I don't think your mom and dad or anybody who owns the computer you're watching this on is going to appreciate it too much. So pause the video, trace the reference with your finger, and we'll be back in a minute to look over our answers. Alright, we're back. So what is the best estimate for the number of stars in the diagram above? I'm going to use a referent of, I'm going to use 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so the circle this big has about 25. So this is going to be my referent. R has 25. Now I'm just going to make circles that are pretty close in size. So 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. I get about 200. I hope you did too. So 100 is too low, 500 is too big, 600, 200. Look, it's right on. All right, boys and girls, question 2 on your own. Read it carefully and remember the rule we use when things are organized in rows and columns. Go ahead, we'll pause the video and we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. So if you count the row here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9 is about 10. So I'm going to write 10 over here. And if I go across here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 12 is also about approximately 10. But which is closer? 9 is closer. So I'm going to choose this here, and I'm going to count by 10s across. So 10 over here, 10 in this one, 10 in this. If you count by 10, you're going to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. That's going to be our best estimate. And we'll leave it at that. Question 3. Daniel has 510 pennies. How many pennies does Daniel have? He has 510 pennies. 510 pennies. Use the referent 100 cents is equal to $1 to estimate how many dollars Daniel has. Okay, go ahead. I'm not going to be providing you with a picture of any money here, so you're going to have to use your whiteboards or a piece of paper, and you're going to have to get creative with this, and we'll be back in a minute to check our answers. All right, we're back. Here's one way you could use. You could say, now we have 100 cents is $1. So I'm going to make a circle here. I'm going to say there's 100 cents. And I'm writing 100 cents because I don't want to draw 100 cents. I'm going to make $1 here. That's our referent. 100 cents is $1. So I'm going to use this to make more reference that match. So 100 cents equals $1. I did it again. I'm going to do it again. 100 cents equals $1. Now, how many cents, how many pennies? By the way, I should have said here, a cent is the same as pennies. When you say cents, 100 cents, that's the same as saying 100 pennies. All right, they're synonymous terms. Bob's got 510. Now, I'm already up to 100, 200, 300. I'm getting close to what Bob has, so I'm going to keep going until I'm really close. So I'm going to go 100 cents is equal to $1. Now that makes 400 cents, 400 pennies. And I'm going to make one more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will take me up to, if I count them all, I've got 500 cents in total. And I've got $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. So estimate how many dollars Daniel has. Daniel has approximately $5. Does he have exactly $5? The answer would be no, because Daniel doesn't have 500 cents. He has 510 cents. So he has a little more than $5, but we just want an estimate, and this is a pretty good estimate. 2 more questions. Selena has 133 pennies. I'm going to read this with you before you pause the video. Selena has 133 pennies. So she has this many pennies in her piggy bank. Use the referent of 10 pennies equals 1 dime to estimate how many pennies, or estimate how many dimes, Selena could make using her pennies. Go ahead, pause the video, and see if you can figure it out. We'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. So your referent should have looked like this. You could have drawn 10 pennies. That takes too long. I'm just going to write the word 10 pennies equals 1 dime. And if you remember what a dime looks like, it's that coin that says 10 cents. And it has a picture of well, in Canada, it's got a picture of a sailboat. There's my little sailboat. Anyways, that's kind of beyond that's what a dime is. So you should have done this, and you should have realized that that's not enough, because Selena has 133. Our referent only has 10 in it. So we got to keep making more tens. 10 pennies is 1 dime. 10 pennies, 1 dime. 10 pennies, 1 dime. Going to make 10 pennies. 1 dime. Alright, I think we got it here. We got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. I've got right now 130 pennies, which is pretty close to 133. That's good enough. And how many dimes in total do I have? Well, I have 1 dime here, another dime here. That's 2 dimes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dimes. And the question asks us, dimes, how many dimes could Selena make using her pennies? How many dimes can she make? She can make 13 dimes out of the money that she's got. And the last question of the day. Estimate how long the snake is using the hand as a referent. Okay, so here's a hand. The hand is 25 centimeters long. Here's the snake. How long is the snake using this as your referent? Go ahead and pause the video. We'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. So you should have done this. You should have either drawn another hand, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this referent. I'm going to draw this. I'm going to trace around this, make it about the size of the hand. Let's go like this. And I'm going to make another circle beside it. That's roughly the same size. That's about how big the hand is. I'm going to put 25 underneath that one. And I'm going to make another referent over here, or a duplicate of my referent. This is my referent. These are all being used to compare with the referent. So I'm going to make another one here, and another one like that. And they're all about 25 centimeters long. So if you finish this picture here, this is 25 centimeters. So is this, cm. I'll put cm for centimeters below all of them. And if I count them, I've got, count with me, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150 centimeters is approximately how long the snake is. Thank you very much for joining me in this lesson. I hope you learned a lot about referents, and I hope you learned a lot about how to use a referent to estimate how many objects there are in a picture. It's one of the most important math skills you're ever going to learn, and the only way you're going to master it is if you keep practicing really hard. And if you do that, I promise you're going to get there. I wish you a great day. Practice hard, and I'll see you next lesson. Goodbye.